In 1533, Francisco Pizarro, along with 62 horsemen and 102 foot soldiers, arrived in the Incan capital, Cusco, Peru. And there, in the middle of the square, sat the sacred temple, Coricancha. It was the temple of the sun, which was completely covered in gold. And as we well know, the complete takeover of land, wealth, and resources from other nations is very much on brand for colonizers. So they got one starry eyed look at the place and was like, hurry! We must subjugate these barbarians in the name of profit. I mean, Jesus. So, fast forwarding a bunch, eventually the Incan Empire falls into Spanish rulership. Many of the indigenous were then rounded up to be used as slave laborers, and one of the things they were tasked with doing was leveling their sacred temple and, in its place, building a Christian cathedral. And not only the structure, mind you, the Andean people were also responsible for making the art, with which they engaged in what we would call symbolic resistance. So while they were forced to paint the icons and build the church, they found clever ways to hide their gods and sacred concepts called Walkas, so that when they were expected to attend Mass and worship the Christian God, their gods would also be in attendance. So, for example, when they depicted the Virgin Mary, they painted the lower half of her in a triangle shape that Spaniards assumed was a dress, when really the triangle represented the Apu, the sacred mountain spirits, and Pachamama, Mother Earth. And then there were two of the primary Incan deities, Inti and Mamakia, the sun and the moon, which you will often see high up in the corners of the cathedral. They also carved their sacred animals into the stonework, three of which were snakes, representing the underworld, pumas, the earthly realm, and condors, the celestial realm. And you can still view much of their work today at the church and convent of Santo Domingo in Cusco, Peru.